Never in the history of the American presidency have we seen a confrontation like this take place in the Oval Office. Conduct of the president and the vice president essentially trying to gang up on Zelensky, who has come for aid and support, was one of the most disgraceful things I've ever seen. You asked a question a moment ago, and that is the question is how the MAGA voters will react. I hope they saw through the proper lens this president essentially insulting the president of Ukraine. This is a disaster for American foreign policy. I'll be very interested as the day progresses in the reaction of the Europeans, but certainly this was not a great day and proves, at least in my mind, the reason why Donald Trump should never have been put back in the Oval Office.
It is, however, where we sit. He's only been in office, 5 weeks, and we see a sea change in the way government's existing. Let's just put that to the side, because as government is dismantled, that's a whole other issue. But also the way diplomacy has been dismantled. As you're aware, he's making huge cuts at the State Department. The State Department, and probably in this case, Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, would normally, in a normal administration, have created an environment by which Zelensky and Trump would just be able to sit there, exchange pleasantries, generalities, and the deal itself is made oftentimes by diplomats on the way to remarks like this.
You're exactly right. Believe me, that's what Henry Kissinger's function was with Richard Nixon. Clear the way. That is always the role. What you saw today was political foreign policy malpractice by Donald Trump. And I'm laying it all on Donald Trump. Can you imagine confronting one of the great freedom fighters of the world, Volodymyr Zelensky, whose people have valiantly resisted Russian? And remember, just a few days ago, Donald Trump was accusing Zelensky of being a dictator. This is absolutely ridiculous. And more than that, there are tremendous ramifications. They're popping the champagne corks in Moscow. They are thrilled at what Donald Trump has done. And for Donald Trump, in the body of all of this, to continue to attack Joe Biden and the Biden administration, to accuse, even invoking Hunter Biden, to imagine this kind of petty politics, which frankly was misplaced to begin with. I just want to be clear, because I know we have very limited time. This is a disaster for American foreign policy. It is a disaster for the world. The only analogy I can draw was the Munich Conference of 1938, when the Czechoslovakian people and their leaders had to succumb to Hitler, Daladier, Mussolini, and Chamberlain out of fear and intimidation.